Okay, so in this hobby, there's a thing called settling and sacrificing. It's totally different. I think because the hobby is so expensive, you're going to do one or the other at some point. And then there comes a point where you really find what you figure out what it is that you really like and what you really want and what you're looking for, and you figure out your deal breakers, which is the most important thing. Once you figure out what you absolutely do not like and cannot stand and do not want in your nursery, your collection, then you will do a lot better. Then you will be able to find your price point, you will know where you're comfortable at, and then you can kind of go from there. Sometimes we sacrifice other dolls in our collection that we absolutely love to buy something that we want more, that's going to give us more of what we really want. Sometimes we sacrifice because we cut out other things, other hobbies, to be able to afford this particular hobby. And sometimes we settle because we feel like we can't reach our goals, and goals, when I mean like we can't get the doll that we really want. We settle. We start buying this and that until we get, and then until we realize that really you don't have to settle. The key thing is that this is a hobby. It's not a necessity. There's no race. You're not in a rush. Take your time. Shop around. Explore. Now, you might have to go through the phase of where, I almost called it something else, but this ain't the chatterbox, baby, so I can't say that. But, oh yeah, chatterbox is gone. But anyway, nevertheless, this is not, everybody go through a phase where they're just buying everything. Let's say that. You're just buying everything. You're just sampling everything. It's like a sampling phase. You're doing a fostering phase. You foster all these different dolls, and then they go off to the forever moms, hopefully. And sometimes that is necessary for you to see what you like for yourself. Some of us, we rather learn from other people's mistakes. When I came in, I was buying, but at the same time, there were certain dolls that I did not touch and certain things that I did not buy because I saw the, disappointed box openings, or I saw, just different things that I was like, oh no, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't, So I wasn't in a rush. I was never in a rush when I was collecting in the beginning to buy anything. Another thing is, I think when you are kind of not really in a clique or a circle where there's a lot of competitiveness in there, you don't feel like pressure or feel like you need to buy this, that, and the third to fit in. Anyway, I'm going to get started. I'm going to change Vegas in this video. Unlike the other video where I was sitting down, which is very much more comfortable for me. I'm going to talk to you guys while I change him. And so if you are not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to share my videos with all your doll friends. Let them know that there's a collector / artist out there that's going to give you the real, you know what I mean? I'm going to let you know what it is and what is not, for me, in my opinion and my preferences. And then you can go from there. You can take it or leave it. Like I said, I may not be your reliable source. If you have not checked out the videos prior to this, then you'll understand what I'm saying about finding who is your reliable source when it comes to, shopping for certain styles of babies. And then there's also still, even though, you may not be shopping for different styles of babies, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be watching people's channels that have babies that you wouldn't collect, because you may enjoy their content, you may enjoy their personality, you may enjoy the love that they have for their babies in their collection. I think that's another part of the social part of this, but that's not in this I'll get into that in another video maybe. I don't know. You know, I can't never stay on topic, but I just feel like that's another thing that people, you know, don't understand too. Even though a lot of people like to deny it and they come on and they talk this big bad talk about how I'm not here for, you know, making friends and I'm here for the dolls and all this. So then why are you on the forums talking? Like, why do we need to know that? Like, why are you making that public announcement? Because you don't have no friends. You don't have nobody that you care to talk to. So you shouldn't be caring to make that statement. I think a lot of us is here because it's active. I'll say that. A lot of us that are active, that are doing YouTube, that are, you know, commenting and all that, we like to have a community of people that share the same interests as us, as any other hobby. I follow a lot of channels outside of doll channels, mostly. Lately, I'm addicted to organization hack videos and stuff like that. So I'm all in on that. But you know, you just you like people, like, you know, interacting with people that can understand them or that, you know, have similar or that are relatable. So anyway, like I said, there's people that I don't necessarily collect the same type of dolls as them, but I gotta move this light over. So if the light gets crazy with him, it's because I had to move the light over so I can get in here to put him on the shirt. But if, you know, some people I follow because I just love their style, the way they dress their babies, the way they pose their babies. And sometimes I don't even care what they're talking about. I just want to see them, you know, changing the babies and, you know, what their baby's going to be wearing and stuff like that. You know, and so I kind of like Instagram for that too, and Facebook for that, because you just scroll and just see pictures. You don't really have to go through all the, you know, photos. Oh, there goes his little eyebrows acting crazy on me. There we go. All right. I was looking for my little brush, but I don't have it. You're losing your passy, Popa. So, but yeah, so, try not to settle so much, and try not to, two of the things that I found that worked the worst for me, that didn't work the best for me, I should say, is settling and shopping above my means. And I've done that. And I will be the first to say that I was buying above my pay grade. When I was buying my Claire dolls, I absolutely loved them. And I would be a liar and a hypocrite and a fraud if I came on here and said anything different to this day. I absolutely loved them. I was in love with her work, her sculpting, but I definitely was buying above my pay grade. And that's just the honest truth. I had no business buying those expensive dolls on that pay scale. You know, I'm not going to tell anybody how to live and what to do or whatever, but, you know, it's like, and I know this might be a little controversial, but I'm going to even go as far as to say this. Like, when you look at people, you know, that's sitting up and, you know, asking their followers to donate for their food and housing expenses, and then they're still popping in $10,000 dolls and stuff every other week, you don't got no business buying those type of dolls if you got to be asking your subscribers to pay your rent or your light bill or your grocery bill to feed your children. That is ridiculous. I wasn't doing that part. We were eating just fine and without food stamps. But not to say anything's wrong with getting food stamps, because baby, if I could get them, I would. But just saying, But that money should have been going into savings. It should have been investing in me becoming an artist to paint and create an income for me and my family, like those type things. And I thought it didn't bother me, I was like, a lot of people's like, when you get those dolls and they're so expensive, like how can you enjoy them? I enjoyed them just fine. But what I didn't realize is how much more I enjoyed when I bought dolls that were more comfortable in my price range, and I didn't have to stress and wiggle around things to be able to bring home, the most expensive doll. So once I stopped doing that and I was able to, and don't get me wrong, I'm still spending quite a bit of money and more than I probably should in my hobby, or keeping more dolls. I should be selling them instead of keeping them type thing. But I've gotten a lot better. Plus, I make mostly all my dolls myself now, so I save money that way. If you're not capable of doing that, you still can, find ways to save money. And I'm not saying not to go out and buy your expensive dolls. I have to keep saying that because people think, oh, she's being a hater or she's a hypocrite. Now she wants everybody to buy cheaper dolls and she's trying to sway them to other sculptors and all that stuff. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying for the people that can relate, that want nice dolls and nice things and still be able to save money for real situations, there's a way to do it and still be able to enjoy your hobby and still have realistic looking babies. And that's what I'm saying. I realize that the pressures of everything else and feeling guilty when something do come up in my life and I look around and I got $40,000 worth of dolls tied up in 2 dolls. No, just playing. It wasn't that bad, but you know what I mean? But I did have at one point, like probably about $70,000 worth of dolls in here, and that's ridiculous. And I say that for me. I'm saying that for me. And you feeling guilty because you're like, man, I could sell one of these dolls and pay off all of this, you know what I mean? Or all of that. And which essentially in the end is what I did. But I realized that I just felt a lot more relaxed. I was, like now I don't feel really, really pressured to sell my dolls. Like, especially once I go back to work, I'm not going to be feeling like, sometimes I sell my personal babies now because I'm moving slow in my painting and I'm like, oh, I need some, extra income coming in right now. So I'll sell something out of my personal collection. Otherwise, I'm like, I don't have to sell. I'm like, I don't have to sell my babies. Before I had to sell to buy. And when you're collecting and you're really a collector and you really love this hobby and love the dolls, and you really, buy a doll because you're in love with it, and you don't go in it buying it. And despite what people think, I know it might be some people that do it, but like I said, most of us are not going in it saying, hey, I want to get this doll to keep for 2 months and then I'm going to sell it. You don't go in with that thought process. But life happens, and when you're buying and you're spending money and you don't have money like that to just, not sell, then you find yourself in a place where you feel like you have to sell something to buy the next thing or whatever. But as now, like even with blank kits now, I'm very picky about my blank kits. Like I buy from more than just, I know I buy from Silicone Studio a lot, but that's not the only place I buy kits from. I buy kits from different people, and I'm steady searching out different sculptors and pours for different kits. But if I feel like that kit is not spectacular and they're wanting, $2,500, $3,000 for it, I'm not buying that. I'm not gonna spend $4,000 on a blank kit, even though I can paint it myself and save myself money. I'm not doing that because I know what it's like to have that much money tied up into one doll. So I don't do that anymore. And that's a blank, not painted. If I don't, there's a kit that's coming out that I really like. I don't really want to paint it for myself. I would pay someone else to, if I shop out and if I had an option of someone to paint that kit for me, you know, I know what the market is for the price and stuff. And so I have a number in my head of what I would spend. But it's a whole completed doll. So when I'm looking at kits, I'm like, I'm not going to pay that, you know, for the whole completed doll. I feel like the average price for a full body silicone baby, and I don't know about some of these artists because I'm not one of those artists that go around snooping and trying to find out what everybody's charging, because I don't charge based off of what everybody else is charging. I do look at market, because to a certain extent, like I see what's, you know, published, and I'm like, okay, you know, the main reason I look is because I don't want to outprice myself. I don't want to be charging, you know, $25,000 for a doll, and, you know, everybody else is charging, you know, $10,000. You know what I mean? So that's one reason I kind of glance at price, but I don't go and be like, oh, she's charging $8,000 and I do better than that, and plus I'm painting AA and that's a Caucasian. I'm gonna up my price to $10,000 now. I don't do that. Now I lost my train of thought of where I was supposed to, where was I going with this? This is why I like doing lives, because people can help me. But anyway, so, oh yeah, so we were talking about the kits and stuff. So I think the average price range, a good price for a full body, in my opinion, is anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000 for me. That's a comfort zone for me. So I kind of keep my prices. And I have had other artist friends and stuff tell me, don't do that. Don't base it off of my pocket. But that's what I do. Like, I feel like that's a comfortable price for me. So that's where I kind of keep my range, unless it's a smaller baby. So, it's totally, like I said, it's totally up to you on what your price range is. But get what you want out of that. Like, I see people like spending like mega money, and they getting like all these mediocre like they're dropping $5,000-$6,000 back to back, and then they're like, I really wish I could have a such and such type doll. You bought that doll 20 times over. Like, be smart about it. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like maybe it's just because they're impulsive, and they don't think about it that way. But I'm like, no, baby, you could get what you want if you got that kind of money. For me, and I know, some of my other doll friends and even some of my customers, we have a price range. And even if we're shopping at the height of my price range, because trust me, $4,000 to $6,000 is a lot of money for me. I really don't have that money just laying around to spend like that, but I know I could like maneuver some things. You know what I mean? Like sell some things in my collections to get it, this, that, another, or save towards that and get it. So, but if money wasn't an option, I guess I would probably like just sample any and everything, not any and everything, but any and everything good that I think that's going to look good, that I'm going to like, type thing. But for me, being on a budget, which I feel like the majority is on a budget, if I am very specific and I want, skin tone is a major thing for me. That's number one on my box. I don't care what kind of hair they got. I don't care about what type of box opening they send. That skin tone got to be popping. If that's my deal breaker. Like, the skin tone got to be popping. Okay? I am not like particular about, I don't got to have 20 swirls in the middle of the baby head and all that and stuff. I just don't want it pluggy. I don't want it to look like my granddaughter rooted it. You know what I mean? I got to be able to brush it in a style and make it look good. That's my thing. There are certain things, there's other things I'm not going to get into that are deal breakers for me. And I know what those are for me. So when I'm looking at dolls that's in that price range of what the amount of money that, let's say I only got $4,500 to spend. I'm going to look at what's available that's in, you know, up to $4,500. And if I can't find anything, I'm going to wait. Either I'm going to wait until something pops up for that price, or I'm going to wait until I can put a couple more dollars with it to get what I want. But at this point in my journey of collecting, I am not willing to put myself in a bind or sacrifice for a baby anymore. I mean, I used to be, you know, hot in pursuit, and I would sacrifice things. I'm not willing to eat oodles and noodles for a new baby. That's just not where I'm at now. But if you're there, I get it. But if you're going to sacrifice and eat oodles and noodles and have your feet look like dead man walking because you can't go get your pedicure done, baby, please get that baby with the edges snatched to the guards and skin tone popping and baby looking like it's breathing, and or you know what I mean? Like, get what you really want. Like, don't settle if you're going to sacrifice everything you got. If you're going to be renting a one-bedroom trailer with no kitchen, no living room to buy these dolls, you better have the best dolls then. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm not saying that's the greatest thing to do, but if you go do it, you know what I mean? At least make it worth your while. Don't be in that one bedroom trailer with no kitchen, burning cooking your meals out there in the backyard over some wood, snapping pictures with your flip phone for a baby that's got two strands of hair and the edges and the paint look like who done it and got away with it. It ain't gonna be worth. That's not worth it. I just don't understand it. So anyway, I think I've beat this subject to death, but I am going to say, I'm just going to do a quick recap. Research. Find videos of the sculpts that you like, that you're interested in. Look at those sculpts. See how they pose. See how they fold. See how if you find movement videos, if it's a silicone baby. Make sure you ask the right questions. That's going to be probably a whole nother segment. Make sure some of you guys are asking some questions that is not that important. What the doll is coming with, does it really matter? Because we really want to just shop for our babies anyway. That is not an important question to me. Unless the baby is coming from overseas and I'm looking for something unique from overseas, even then, I don't really care. I'll order online. I want to know, is the baby mouth open? What level of softness it is in? Was it poured in platinum silicone, medical grade? Is it, what was it painted? Is it painted with, you know, whatever. I might not ask that deep of questions if it's a reputable artist, because I'm pretty sure they're using, you know, stuff, whatever. But I'm going to ask, is it got any rips or tears? Is it, what else? Like I said, can it take a pacifier? A full pacifier. Can it take a full pacifier? Does it have a drinking wet? Is there any armatures in it? If it's armatures, you know, is it leg armatures? Are the armatures in the hip? The hipatures, like my customers call them hipatures. You know, I want to know that. Is it elbow armatures or full armatures? You know, if those things are important to me, and I want to know. Does it have a jelly belly? No. Yes, no. Drinking wet? Yes, no. What size is it? Is this baby fitting? What size clothes? Okay. Is this baby fitting in preemie clothes, a newborn clothes? For most brands, I know it's going to vary, but give me an idea. Because that it's 18 inches, it's 20 inches. Baby ain't going to do nothing for me. Because 18 and 20 inches can look very different. It can be both 18 inches, and one can be skinny, one can be fat. I mean, just saying. So those type things. If I feel like the lighting isn't good, do you have any more clear pictures? Baby, because these are all too expensive. Okay. Whatever it is that I'm very specific about, or I'm really concerned about, or if I see something that I think might be an issue, I might ask for a closer up picture of that. That's what I'm going to be asking. That's what I'm going to be asking. Sometime you can't tell is like this baby. I could have this baby pose like this. Okay. I'm going to ask, can the legs be straightened out, or is there in a fixed position like that? Because I need to know, baby. Because I don't want that stuck like that all his life. I don't want him to be a frog all his life. If I see one leg bent in and one down there, baby, do that leg straighten out or do it stay bent? Those are the type of questions I want to know. You know what I mean? Y'all be asking stuff like, so is it gonna have Gucci and Prada in there, or is it Family Dollar? What brand pacifier is you sending? Girl, what? So yeah, anyway, that is it. I will talk to you guys later. Let me know in the comment section, guys, too, like what other topics or conversations that you would like to have, because these discussions are going to lead into live streams eventually, and then we will, you know, talk about it. I find that sometimes if I do a video, I'm able to stay on topic better, and that works. His little shoe falling off, and that works better. I'm gonna just end up taking them off, to be honest. And that end up working better for me as far as certain topics. And then when I do the lives, I can kind of just answer questions and, you know, interact and be goofy as we go. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed Vegas. And for those that don't know, Vegas is the Willow Sculpt by Claire Teller. Sculpted and poured by Claire Teller Dolls. I mean, yeah, Claire Teller Dolls, they're all same. And painted by me. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed your day. Bye-bye.